we just wanted to say a massive thank you to our podcast sponsor, Kevin Murphy, distributed by Ozday, and thank them for being the most amazing brand partner for Salon Rising. This brand is truly incredible and we are so excited to work alongside you.
Welcome back to the Inner Sanctum lovers. On this episode, we are talking all things friendship. So rich, long-lasting, new and inspiring friendships with other business owners and navigating that, and also friendships within your business. So they're super important, really enriching, and we hope you enjoy the episode. Thanks for listening. Welcome back to the Inner Sanctum. Hey, Sam.
Hey, dude.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Coming to everyone from Comfort Central today.
I know. Honestly, we're coming from my couch.
This was a very good choice.
If anyone's watching, it's not actually green. It's a cream couch. These are covers from Temu, my favorite place in the world.
Yeah, and such a good idea.
Such a good idea with kids. It keeps my cream couch
Cream.
The covers get taken off never. They're like the plastic that lived on other people's couches growing up.
Yes, I genuinely had a friend whose mother did that. In the good lounge?
My mum would have done that, except no one could go in the good lounge. No one was allowed
that's what
in
we
the
had.
good, like,
we had the good lounge that no one actually ever was allowed to go in.
We even had that carpet, like this rug that makes the marks when you vacuum it, and mum
so
would know if someone walked through there and you would get murdered. So yeah, that's what happened.
So hence,
We're coming from my couch.
Temu covers.
Super chill. I was like, let's do it from the lounge today.
We
Super
might even
relaxed.
have a toddler sort of
Wild
like
might come
strolling
down.
through.
We were hoping he would stay asleep the whole time, and as we started, he woke up.
Yeah. Bang on.
So we're just going to go with it today because this is motherhood in business.
That's how we do.
My Woolies order got delivered. The rice is on for dinner. We'll run from this and do kid pickup because today is
it's busy.
school pickup.
It's a busy
Day one
day.
of school. Yep.
So I'm just consulting my laptop here because the topic, I'm just going to give you a little rundown.
Go.
Okay.
Yep, go.
So the topic we're covering today is friendship.
Excellent. Love, friendship.
Yeah.
Yep.
Winning. So there's a couple of different facets of this we're going to look into.
Okay.
So rich and long lasting.
Yep.
Obviously.
But
also new and inspiring.
okay.
We're going to look at safety in friendships. We're going to talk about letting friendships go with grace. Friendships with other business owners. Friendships
all of
within
this.
your business.
Yep.
And why some of your friends might not understand your business, and that's okay.
Yeah. Love.
Yeah, so that's the topics I thought we'd cover today.
It's a great idea.
Yeah.
I feel very strongly about female friendship.
Yeah, we do.
Very strongly. And so we do.
Yes.
But yeah, so I love this topic. That's clearly why you've done it. So yes, I'm good for it. Excellent.
But I think it's important. Like I think like if we just talk to the business aspect for a moment, I think that was one of the things that made you different, was that fostering friendships and that it's the community over competition. You know what I mean?
100%.
So I think that, but you have to be good at being a friend to have friendships in all different circumstances.
Agreed.
Like your business.
Agreed.
Yeah.
100%, because I think that even with business, there can come, like, even friendships within business, there'll still be points where you'll feel sticky. Like you might feel a little bit jealous of what someone's got going on and stuff, and it's pushing yourself out of your comfort zone to see where you're being triggered.
Yeah.
They're not triggering you. It's something that's triggering internally to make you go, ooh, I don't like this. Where is it triggering for me? And I think that's in a lot of friendships.
Yeah.
But, looking at that from a business perspective and coming in from how supportive and loving you can be rather than, I don't know. It's an interesting facet that, because you will have triggers that come up with other people in business. They might be doing things differently or better or getting different opportunities.
Or you perceive it to be better.
Or they get different opportunities and stuff like that. And it may, again, I think you've got to be strong enough to be like, this is triggering me because of this, not because of this. Like, all of those things. If you've really got to look internally, 100%.
It reminds me when we had Shay and Helena on.
Yeah.
And talking about that whole, like, such a close friendship.
Yep.
But that whole value question that Helena was saying she was struggling with, it's like, oh, well, here is my friend who has all this.
Yeah.
And I've got this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that.
Yep.
But I think too the new and inspiring relationships and friendships are often to do with your business because they're to do with the you know,
Growth.
the people who you've had like long lasting friendships, it's generally to do with that life and that growing up together.
Yes.
And, you know,
Yep.
whereas the new and expiring come from where your interest takes you.
Agreed.
And that's often if you're doing something you love
In business.
in business.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
Completely agreed.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love this topic, I guess, for me because I have many.
Yeah, you do.
I have 9 best friends. And people laugh when I say that. Like they're like, because I always say, oh, my best friend. And they're like, are you talking about the same person? I'm like, oh, no, there's 9.
No.
And I know that probably sounds stupid, but I do. I generally have 9 best friends that I've built over the years that I could not just imagine calling them my friend. And I feel a great honor by saying that they're my best friends because on both sides we work hard for these friendships. But yeah, I've got loads and loads and loads of friends, but I've got 9 besties.
Yeah.
And loads of friends that I still would consider some
Super
of my
close.
closest friends, you know.
Yeah.
I guess for me, I can't add more best friends. Like
no.
they're all done with 9. Like
there's a cutoff.
there's a cutoff. They're all done. Like 9 is it for them. But yeah, the cool thing about that is I have lots of really rich friendships even outside my besties.
Yeah.
And I've definitely learnt over the years to, when you say, you know, dropping relationships with grace, there's been certainly friendships that I've had to have really hard conversations with and I wasn't prepared to, that I've had to move forward from and really had to worksheet my way through that friendship and it was quite toxic. There is definitely, I grew up with a lot of bullying, like in my early days, a lot of bullying. There was always, you know, one master of it, which has actually been a trigger for me lately, which I'm going to work on. But there's always been, you know, I've always grown up like that. And for me, friendship, it's funny because I was talking to a girlfriend literally this morning that I've been friends with since I was in grade 2 and our kids now go to school together and stuff like that. But, you know, thinking back to things, my primary school days were hell, lots of bullying.
Same.
Grade 8 was about the same for me. And then grade 9 really landed. I met my very, very best friend, Nicola, who I've been best friends with now since we were in grade 9. I met her in grade 8, but grade 9 we were in the class together and she taught me friendship. And I think from that, and when you say the word safe, from that, that's where I think it's really important. I think in every relationship growing up, I think in those vulnerable years, whatever experience you've had, you carry.
100%.
And we know that. Like I had she changed everything for me. And that's how I developed how to know friendship. And it was the same way with my boyfriend that I was with when I was that young. I was treated so well and so wonderfully that even though we didn't work out, I always knew how to be treated and how to be loved. And I always, you know, and that was really important. And I always found that. So, you know, I think that friendship's what gets you through everything. Like going through this time in my life, it's my friendship that's, you know, it's literally how I've been able to get to like this space because my friendships are so rich and I'm so protected and so taken care of. What about you, Jen?
I the same, had like loads of bullying when I was young and that's how I became a hairdresser because my parents had to pull me out of school. I just got so savagely bullied and I was doing distance education and I found school really easy, like academically, just not socially. So I was super bored because I used to finish all my work and then be like, cool, what does one do with life now? So I ended up finding myself a job, lying about my age and getting an apprenticeship because I was bored.
Yeah.
And then I still finished the whole year at school, but did that. So, but I think you taught me how to feel safe in friendship.
Oh, don't.
You did.
You're not, Jen. I can't.
No, you did. And I've got friends that I've got friends that I've been friends with since I was like a kid and I love them, but you are the only person that I've ever felt safe in a friendship with.
Oh, Jen, don't. Oh, that's.
You're welcome. She's raw, but it's true. And I
again, feel really blessed to say, like, I would have 5 people that I would call my best friends, obviously with you being one of them. But I think it's that relationship that allowed me to feel safe enough to enter into other relationships.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Jan and I have been best friends for like 19 years.
Yeah, it would be now.
And I think the other important thing of this, guys, is not expecting friendships to be like friendships go through ebbs and flows of life.
For sure.
Like I think back, like Jen and I obviously met when I started my apprenticeship and we were really close for a couple of years, like stupidly close in Jen's past inseparable, Jen's past relationship and stuff like that. But then you moved away. I remember I was so upset. I remember sobbing at your going away party, just like sitting in the corner. I remember what I was wearing.
But that's what was I really hope none of my other friends ever listen to this. That really stuck out in my mind.
Really?
Because here are my other friends that I had been friends with for a very long time, who some of them were like, oh, I just can't make it tonight because I've got this thing on, or, oh yeah, I'm just not going to drink at the moment for you leaving. And it's like, really? And then here's this person who was this new friendship in my life that had only been there for like about 18 months at that time, just
inconsolable.
Inconsolable, bought me a present. Yeah, my 7 rings, you know, the 7 rings.
Right.
Yeah.
I remember being inconsolable. I remember sitting in a booth I remember what I was wearing. It was like a dress. It was all cut out. I remember just sitting there. Like, I think I was like 18, 19.
No, you would have been
20?
19.
19, yeah.
No, I think you might have even been 20.
Don't know. I just remember sobbing. It was in Broad Beach.
Yeah, it was in Broad Beach.
On the right-hand side of the road.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember it. But then when you moved, like, I'm not great without, I'm not good with out of sight, out of mind. So when
I know.
Obviously we were all so young. Like I was stupidly young.
You were super young.
So I didn't know, I'm not great at that type of friendship. So then we lost contact. We talked every now and then. I forgot her birthday one year. It was the worst day of my life.
That's when I was back though.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. See, you don't remember that, but I forgot her birthday. And then like I wasn't at your wedding. Like now, I think I was away.
No, it was because you were going to Hawaii. I had your veil though. I wore your veil for my wedding.
I know, but still, we weren't like, I think now, I would have cancelled Hawaii and I would have been there. We weren't as inseparable that we are now. Like,
because that's a growth.
You know, but I think when Jen's husband was in hospital, like even at that point, you and I weren't talking as much because otherwise, if you were, I would have been living at your house.
Oh, because I had a little baby. So
I
was
know,
in a different...
and I didn't know motherhood.
Yeah.
See, ebbs and flows. You started motherhood early.
Because I remember the same when it was your hen's party and I had like a 7-week-old baby. It's like, will not be coming.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah. But then you don't, like, it's funny because I didn't realize, I can't remember you weren't there.
I just realized that I may have dropped myself out of the shot then because and if you're watching, sorry about that.
You leaned right back.
Just went too casual and comfy.
Though you remember the things you went out, I don't remember you not being there and vice versa.
Yeah, yeah.
It's funny how we do that. I forgot that you wore my veil. That's so cute.
Yeah.
I was going to say something really sarcastic then, but I stopped. But
no, actually, I didn't wear your veil. I took your veil.
Yeah,
all the way with me.
Yeah.
I ended up having to wear another veil because it was too long.
That's right.
Yeah.
It was a fucking cathedral length.
It was, yes.
That's probably a good thing. Yeah, I think and then so interesting enough, and then we got really close again as you started working for me again, sort of like 11 years ago. And then from there, because we saw each other every day and we were just in each other's life full time. And again, I didn't understand motherhood until I had a baby, and you just don't understand any of that until you kind of walk that life.
Oh, yeah. So your journey with motherhood is changing all the time as well.
All the time.
Your journey with motherhood is changing at the moment.
And then as your motherhood journey is changing, you've got teens Like, I guess, it's interesting how everything evolves and you go through the ebbs and flows. But I think the most important thing is, you know, how does that person make you feel?
Yes.
How safe do you feel in the relationship? How much love is there? And do they ever make you feel guilty for not being able to, like, you and I never have once been like, well, you don't call me or I haven't heard from you or we don't catch up. It's like, this is just us.
I was trying to have that conversation with my niece the other day because she's got a friend that I feel is a little bit like that. And it's just like, it's not supposed to be like that.
It's not supposed to be like that.
You know?
And I think you actually hit the nail on the head. The most important part in friendship is safe.
Yeah.
And that's
safe to be yourself.
Safe to be yourself.
Yeah.
Say, and if you can't feel safe, that's not a best, like could be a friend, but it's not a best friend.
Yeah, exactly.
I am with my besties so safe to be myself that it's so easy to, like, I never feel, and I think safety for me in all relationships is really important.
Yes.
And something that was the breakdown of my marriage over time is just, and not safety as in
like
they're going to hurt you.
Yeah, physically
no,
unsafe.
Absolutely
as in just,
not.
Yeah.
Just meaning like
emotionally safe.
Emotionally safe.
Yeah.
Safe that they're going to be where they, like, it's just emotionally safe. Emotionally to be 100% myself, and that person's going to be 100% truthful and honest and themselves with you as well. Not safety as in you think someone's going to abuse you. We're not talking that.
Yeah.
Safety in being completely raw and honest and being heard and, you know, and all of those things. But I expect that back in return. And I would pull, like, I remember pulling you on things being like, nope. Like, you were like, I can't tell you, like, the shit yarn when we do shit yarn.
Shit yarns.
So we talk about my
Love
best
a shit yarn.
friend Trace and I talk about shit yarns, and it's like you ring and they're like, I'm here for a shit yarn. And it's like, go. Or if you don't have time, I'll catch you later, because it's not a shit yarn is just like, oh, it's just crap. You're just going to have to listen to me ramble, but I need to get this out. And it's not, nothing's taken if you can't make it.
But that was always, for me, it was like a protecting you.
Yeah, I know.
Because I was always like, no,
I can't put it on your plate.
Yeah, I can't put too much on your plate.
It used to make me so angry. I was like, it's not putting it on my plate. It's just talking shit out. And I listen. Jen is such an extraordinary friend that sometimes I think I talk way too much and I don't listen enough, because Jen just listens all the time, and then I just like ramble everything out. So even for me, I think that's a thing too, even for me in my friendships, I will look at where I need to adjust myself to be better, because if you're I notice sometimes I'm like, shut up, Samara, let Jen talk. You don't need to be Bette Midler. Like, let Jen have her moment. And because you are such an amazing support friend to anyone, I'm like, nope, time for me to be Jen's support friend and to encourage her to move forward.
Yeah. It's something I struggle with lots of people.
I know.
It's like, no, tell me about you.
I know. You always do it.
Yeah. But that's okay.
I know, but I think, again, as a friend, it's important to be conscious of that, because you automatically do that.
Because it's like we say with relationships and stuff like that, it's those people that are closest to you that are going to bring the things up that you need to be working on. And so I think when you get to that point where you're recognizing those things with your friends, you know they're pretty close.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Our codependent issues.
Oh, yeah.
We're not codependent anymore, though.
No, we're definitely better.
We're definitely better.
Yeah. Coexisting is fine.
Oh, yeah, just not codependent.
Just not codependency.
I want to be coexisting with my best friends.
Yeah,
I'm currently living
exactly.
with mine. I want to be codependent with her. So that's the funniest thing on friendships is my best friend Trace is currently living with me.
Yeah.
And I talk about her. She's the one that taught me how to do money, and she's moving to her place in 2 weeks. So it's funny, she was living up the other end of the coast and I fucking hated it so much. And now she's moved down to this end, so life's going to be good again. But yeah, she's living with me at the moment, moved in yesterday, and with her daughter and her son, and then her husband comes next week. And I'm like, why don't we live together? Like, it's just like,
I know.
so nice. It's so seamless. It's so easy. It's so peaceful. The kids just, I don't know. Like, I was like, this is life. Living with a woman is just ultimate.
When I arrived today and I was looking through the window at you guys in the kitchen, like getting dinner prepped and making your lunches, I'm like, oh, this is what it's going to be like to come and visit them when they live together.
It's so nice.
Yeah.
It's so nice. Honestly, it's just, she picks up where I leave off. Like, it's just, and vice versa. And I do the things I like and she does the things she likes, and the kids are peaceful, and it's lovely. It's actually really lovely. And her son comes back to us tonight and he's like desperate to get to Auntie Mara's house, which is really nice. And I just
that's so
love
nice.
kids being with each other. Like, I love a house full of children. So yeah, I'm really excited to spend the next 2 weeks just indulging in that, and then she has to leave and we'll want to off ourselves. She was in her office between calls and I was like, what piece of fruit would you like? She was like, I'll have an apple. I'm like, okay, I'll cut it up with some peanut butter. She's like, I love this life.
Don't make me move.
So I don't know. Friendships for me are literally like the center of my universe.
Yeah.
And I say, like, I include my sister as one of my best friends. So friendships and family, but I would count my best friends as my family.
But your relationship with your sister is different to a family relationship too, though.
Yeah.
There's a real friendship to that as well. Yeah.
And again, so much work. Tiff and I have done so much work on each other. Like we've done a lot of spiritual work. We've done sessions together. And it's like, how willing are you, I think in relationships, like how willing are you to look at your own shit? And
I don't want to do a session with my sister.
No, don't do a session with your sister.
No.
It's a little different.
It's okay. I can say that. She's never, ever going to listen to this.
The support level 0.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've done relationship work with each other, and I think that's important too. But I don't know. I think friendships, you've got to foster them on all sides, and there is many like there's many besties that I don't see, and I don't I haven't seen H&J for ages. So it'll go ages before I see them, but when we see them, they're my homies.
But I think that's the real testament to a friendship as well, is that it's been forever and then you just drop straight back in.
It's straight back in.
Where you left off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Straight back in. So yeah, when you're assessing friendships, do you feel safe enough to do that with? If anyone's making you feel slightly uneasy or slightly uncomfortable, or you can't be your complete and utter self. And it's not your complete and utter self when you've got no makeup on and no hair done.
Yeah, no.
It's your complete and utter self when you say shit that you're like, I shouldn't be putting this out of my head. Like, I remember one day sitting at lunch with Jen and saying something, I don't know if she remembers this, and it was the most fucked up thing I could have possibly said. Like, that was
know what it is.
Going on in my head. I'm never going to repeat it. That was going on in my head that it was like triggering me. And then when I said it, I've never thought about it again, funny enough. Like, it was like it needed to be out of my brain for me to move forward from. And I had no worries not being judged or not being thought of any differently, or like, I think too is are your friendships leaving you? And like, I think the ultimate pinnacle with safety is, are your friendships leaving you and then talking shit behind your back? Because I can say that who I consider my best friends wouldn't in a heartbeat. Like, look, we're all going to whinge every now and then. It's like husbands. Like, sometimes people are going to do shit that pisses off. But
there's a difference between whinging and talking shit about someone.
There's a difference between whinging and talking shit. And I think a whinge every now and then, whatever. But talking shit, like leaving and then speaking shit about, like, if you don't feel safe, if any friendship's coming into your mind right now where you think, that does it, like, they don't deserve to be in your life.
Yeah.
You're too fucking magical for that.
And life is too short.
Life is too short
to fill it with people that don't fill it.
Agreed.
If you know what I mean.
New friendships, Jen.
Yeah. I think new friends, see, again, you know me. I'm really bad at instigating friendships. I have one particular friend who was like, and you will totally relate to this because you're the same. She's like, I remember seeing you at school and your daughter was playing on the playground and she like started talking to me about something and she walked away. It's like, that girl's this makes me laugh. That girl's way too cool. She's never going to be friends with me.
You thought that about her?
No, she thought that about me. I was just like, and she is one of the people that I would class as one of my best friends now. And I was like, that's so funny. Imagine if you hadn't like talked to me, whereas I just don't talk to people because I get nervous.
Sames.
When I'm out in an environment that I don't know people in.
Sames.
So I'll just be like, I'm just going to push my child on the swing.
Yeah, same.
And just like, it's cool, whatever. Because I don't. I'm working on opening up conversations with people in like strange environments.
I am 100% the same. So everyone, like, I reckon anyone that's listening to us would be like, not the case. But
but it's different because this is in a safe space on the couch.
This is in my house.
Yeah.
I am the same way. Like, I remember I thought when Alba went to school, and I think I've spoken on this before, like, I was so excited to meet my group of mums. Like, I'm like, I'm going to meet some people. And it was just not like that in the slightest. Like not like that in the slightest. Like I met a couple of mums that I'd talk to and I'd feel comfortable saying like hi to and stuff like that. But they left the school, and the others were just like this pack of bitches. Like honestly, just did not feel comfortable. Always felt really judged.
Yeah.
Always felt like the really odd one out. Always felt judged for not. And it could be it's probably my fucking perception of shit, really. Let's be honest. But when Sadie started school, I was like, all right, is this what school's like? And is this going to happen again? And Sadie started school, and, you know, the mums were there, and, you know, you'd start to talk to one here or there. And I actually went out with one of them the other night, and I was cracking up because I said to her, I remember one day, we'd talked a couple of times, and then one day she was there and I just unloaded. Like it was stuff going on in relationships, and I just unloaded. And I walked, and she was like, I remember walking away being like, that woman thinks I'm batshit crazy, because I just told her everything and I'd only just met her. And I said to her, I remember like the other night I said to her like, oh man, you got all of me really quick. She was like, oh mate, I walked away being like, that chick is cool. And I was like, here I was thinking, she 100% thinks I'm a lot, and she's not going to be my friend. Like she's going to be like, that chick is batty. She's like, no. I was like, she's cool. Like I like her. So I really persisted, and I was like, I'm going to find my people. Even though I don't need more friends, I love that relationship. I wanted school relationships, right? Because I wanted that for my kids.
I think that funny thing is too, though, because you're really good at doing that when you've decided that that's what you're going to do.
Yeah.
You did the same with like the whole like created a mother's group when you had a baby and stuff like that. It's like, I'll just make my own. Whereas I was always so like, again, it was a safety thing. Just maybe I'll go to a mother's group. Maybe I'll stand here. I won't talk to anybody. I'm too scared.
Yeah.
I'm just going to. So whereas when you decide, and I do think it was stuff that you had with your perceptions of who you were as a mother and other people not accepting that, that changed that for, and you might have just had a shit cohort too.
Yeah.
You know, because that happens.
Yeah.
But once you decide that,
oh no,
I'm going to get me some people. You get people.
Yeah, I do. I actually do. I was like, no, I'm going to find my crew.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, I have to put myself out there. So one night I was like, wrote on a Facebook group. I was like, does anyone like want to go out for dinner? And like 4 of these other mums were like, yeah. And I was just like, we'll just show up and I can talk my way through anything. So hopefully this is not awkward. And they are like, it's funny because I say I've got 9 best friends, but those 4 women, now 5, we added 1 more member to the group who I'm just as upset. Like I was like, are we going to add, like they have to be epic to add someone else to this incredible crew. And they were like, no, we're adding her. She's amazing. And I would call 5 of those women very close to being some of my best mates.
Oh, yeah, especially because of the support they've provided with your journey.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Oh, they've been insane.
Because it's those people, those are those new friendships, the people that are meeting you where you're at.
Yes.
There's those people who've always been there that are like carrying you through, but those are the people who are like, hey, we're coming in and we've got you as well.
Yeah. It was insane. Like over these school holidays, all of them have had, and not just Sadie, because they're Sadie's school mums, Alba as well. Like they take Alba with them. You know, we had a full sleepover. So we had gone out for dinner twice and obviously seen each other at school. And then I said to them, Sadie wants a sleepover for her birthday. What do you guys think if we hire a house? And they were like, fuck it, let's do it. So we hired a house down at Kingscliff for 2 nights. We'd never spent any more time than dinner together, and had this weekend that was like, you know, those people, and like it was really deep conversations. It was no surface, really deep, rich conversations about life, and it was just extraordinary. And that was it. That just kind of melded us together forever. This is our crew. But I went out actually with them, one of the girls' birthdays on Saturday night, and we went out for dinner. And then one of the other mums, I fucking love her. She's got a brand new baby. And I was like, and she's like, I'll meet you guys like 8:30, 9 o'clock when her husband gets home from work. And I was like, she ain't meeting us. Nope, she met us. And then we went to the casino. It was great. It was so much fun.
Ozday is showing the love to Sell on Rising listeners with some incredible offers. Whether you're part of the Kevin Murphy family already or you've been thinking about partnering with Ozday to join the Kevin Murphy crew, these limited time offers are for you. Head to ozday.com/Sell on Rising and find out how Kevin Murphy and Ozday can help your business rise.
And it was just like, it's such a safe, again, I feel really safe in that group
Yeah.
that I am 100% myself and they're good with me. And my kids are 100% themselves with them. And
Yes.
like I have their kids for school holidays. They have my kids. It's just like this supportive, but I don't have to feel like, oh my God, I'm so sorry that right. Guys, I need someone every day this week who's free. And they're like,
Yeah.
I've got this day, I've got that day, I've got this day. I'm like, I can do Friday. Who needs to drop their kids to me Friday? And even that whole like one day Alba was out and Sadie was like, I'm bored. And so I like just messaged one of the mums like, anyone want to have Sadie? And they were like, yeah, why don't you come for a sleepover? And that type of support right now with where I'm at is so fierce. And I know I could do that to any one of my best friends.
But it's a different relationship.
But it's
I
Sadie's
totally
best
get it.
mates at school.
Exactly.
So it's like, you know, and encouraging the girls to be fine with that's also really important.
Yeah.
So it's really nice. Again, I'm very lucky with Alba's age group that she's got 2 best friends that weren't in her class that year, or one of them was, but I didn't know her mum yet, that weren't in her class that year that I couldn't get close to. But I've got 2 very, like Alba's, again, now you say it's funny. When Alba was born, I went to antenatal classes and I decided I was making a best friend at antenatal classes. And I met one at antenatal classes and her and I are stupidly close and have raised our daughters together. So it's very true. Once I've decided this I'm making a group, I'm making a group. Barcelona, I made my group of hairdressing friends. Like once I've decided I make it.
It's just, it's when you can, I know the shift when you do it because you'll be like, oh, I'm not, you know, like you say that you can't do it. Like I just feel uncomfortable with these things. And then you'll all of a sudden be like, nah.
Really?
Yeah, you will. It's the same with when we've talked about doing live events. We are going to do live events, PS. And you're like, you know, I just would feel weird not, you know, talking to people and I don't want people to think I'm snobby. But you'll be that moment where you're like, no, I'm just going to talk to everyone as they come in.
Yeah.
That's what you're going to do.
Yeah.
And you'll just be like, it's fine.
It's true.
Yeah. It's funny too, those surface conversations. You know, I've woken up this year and I despise
hate
surface conversation. But I do think that is one of the things that really shows whether or not you're in like an acquaintance or a friendship or like a close best friend style friendship.
Agreed.
Now,
what dirty secrets are you know, bringing up to your closest friends? Like if you don't feel comfortable sharing stuff like that, they're just an acquaintance. Are they really a really good friend? Like, again, 100%.
Okay, so then when you decided that you were going to create this huge group of like-minded business owners that you were going to be your like business best friends that you did do.
I can't even remember how that came about. I've got 2 groups of that.
Yeah.
I've got one that's all over Australia. I was like, I'm going, when I went to Barcelona. But
that was your Barcelona crew, wasn't it?
When I went to Barcelona, I was like, I'm going to be best friends with Chantel from Talish. And then I felt really awkward because I was like, I remember thinking like, we're going to be best mates. I saw her at a conference once and I was obsessed with her. She was so wonderful. And then I'd text her and then Tegan went to work for her. But yeah, when we went to Barcelona, I'm like, she's going to love me. We're going to be best friends. And I remember like one of the days sitting on the bus, I was like, oh, like we'd spoken and we're kind of hanging out. I was like, oh, I think I'll go have a blow dry. She's like, don't tell anyone else. Let's go have a blow dry together. I'm like, she wants to be my best friend too. Let's do this. And it was the same with Justine from Hair and Harlow. Her and I had never spent any time together. And I remember being like, we're going to talk and we're going to be besties. And again, it just kind of, and then a whole kind of group formed and we're all besties and it was really nice. But I remember I've got a photo actually of us being my besties on the Gold Coast. We had a photo of us at an event and it was, so there's 5 of us that are super close that have salons on the coast. So it's obviously me, Bridget from The Tortoise and the Hare, Rach from Halo, Brooke from Paper Rock and Tegan from Moosh. Sorry. I got there and then I was like losing my head then. And we went to a course. Again, I remember sitting next to Brooke the first day we started talking and I was like, she's cool. I want to be her friend. And then we became friends because I was like, do you want to do this stuff together? And then one night I was like, do you want to come to my house, I think? Or she said, I'll come to your house. I don't know. I can't remember how that came about. And then that was it. She came over to my house and we were just inseparable from that time. Again, another friendship that for me, Brooke and I will see each other for like months every day because we're obsessed and then we won't see each other for months and then we'll see each other again for months and it's just like how it you know, I think for me it's the real cup fillers who again, who do you walk away from and be like, my cup is so freaking filled after that conversation?
Yeah.
And if you don't feel like your cup is extremely full, why? And you probably shouldn't be friends with them. Maybe think why, and am I still friends with them? Like, I want to walk away from my friendships just being like, I am buzzing. And it's on my vision board.
Yeah.
A photo of a cup with water flowing into it, and it's like cup overflowing. That's how I want my relationships to feel. Like, every time I walk away, I just feel more lighter and more filled. And I want to leave them feeling that way too about me.
Yeah.
On both sides. And that doesn't mean you can't have conversations that are deep and feel too much. It's more so like, do they make you feel wonderful regardless? Like, I don't need my friends to tell me how fucking amazing I am every time. But like
Give me a review.
Jem came over the other night and had a sleepover, and it was only a few hours we were together by the time that we'd done everything. But we just laid in bed and laughed, and then we went to sleep, and it was like we woke up in the morning and all hung out, and then she left, and it was just such a nice night.
Yeah.
With no
And sometimes
significance.
it's nice just doing the things.
Yeah.
You know, just going through the motions and just doing the things.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
So yeah, that's been, I think that thing is, if you feel like your cup's been full, it's really important. And yeah, so we all met at a event that we went to, and then I think, I can't remember, don't quote me, and they'll all tell you, I don't know. But I think I remember saying, do you want to do dinner or should we, I don't know. I can't remember how it came about, but it came about as it did. And yeah, then we started doing dinners, and we started doing more and more and more, and you just, start to be able to open up and ask questions, and then it just became us five, because I think it just was the rawest.
But I feel like that was the thing that made you realize how important it is for
100%.
the business owners to have someone to talk to.
Yeah, 100%.
Because that relationship is different.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. And then I've obviously got my friends who are all over Australia as well. Definitely being able to be like, this is really hard, I'm struggling. What does everyone? And honestly, weekly, that's what's in our chat. Like,
but it's that
hey,
friendship
you guys
that
struggling
it's
with this?
honest.
Yes.
Because you feel like you can say
you
that.
can say it. Yeah.
Not like, oh, everything's great. Like not
Yes.
that
No.
putting on the front.
No, there's
It's like,
nothing.
oh,
How do you guys
yeah.
handle this? How would you handle this? I'm struggling with this. What timing do you do for this? How many hours do you do for that? What hours do you do? Like, questions like that all the time.
Yeah.
And the same, like, I'll listen to what the girls say. I'm like, oh, I like that idea. I'm going to do that. And vice versa, you know. And a lot of the Salon Rising stuff, I'm like, here, what do you need? Like, I've made this. It's really good. Like, I love it. Let me know what you think. Like, so I just think, having other people and that's for me for Salon Rising is having a group of like-minded humans that help you develop. Like, it's not just me that has the knowledge. It's everybody that's done something a little different.
It's that collective.
Yeah. Even the other day we were talking so we have a mastermind, and I've got 7 incredible owners that is with me for a whole year. So we've got our group for the year. And even one of them was talking the other day about how she does half an hour every morning with her team. And I love the idea of that. It's just half an hour is too much every day for me. But now we're doing half an hour a week, because I'm like, oh, I love that idea.
Yeah.
And then
but how can I take it and make it like
mine
what
that
suits for me?
Yeah. And I remember used to doing it at Stefan's, but I was like, I think we're going to do that once a week to celebrate wins and stuff like that. One of the other girls had printed out these amazing sheets for her team of how they're going to move through things this year. And so I was like, I want that. And then one of the other girls had these incredible menus. You know how I've kept putting the menus off? I feel like I've been waiting for this. She had these incredible menus. So now I'm writing that. She's like, I'll send you all the information so you can see exactly how they're done. And her and I, that's Lauren that's been on the podcast from The Young Blonde. Her and I bounce off each other quite a lot. With like, she's like, you were my inspiration for this. And I was like, funny, you were my inspiration for that. So it's really nice to be so open and share that so that we can just keep elevating our businesses together. So this is why I'm so strong on community, because I think if I didn't have the community, I didn't have my girls, I wouldn't be where I am, because their knowledge and their support and their cheering is what allows me to be where I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's like friendships with other business owners. The last thing we'll touch on is friendships within your business. And we've talked about this a little bit before, like when we had Erin on the pod and stuff, and that how you navigate that, having a friendship with someone within your business.
Yeah.
Because you managed to do that really well now. I know it's something that in the past it was like where do I draw the line with that?
Yeah.
But I think you have that nice friendship situation,
Yeah.
that doesn't mean that a boundary gets crossed for you
Agreed.
when you're in
I
your
actually was
business.
talking on this today on one of our calls, and I didn't even realize I did this, but I have Facebook Messenger for our group chat. And then, funny enough, I talk to them all on Facebook Messenger individually for work stuff.
Yep.
And then my messages are our stuff. I didn't even realize I did it until I spoke on it today.
Okay.
So it allows
The different place of communication.
Yeah.
Like this is purely work
this
communication.
is purely work.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also then if the message on Facebook, if the chat goes off, I turn off the notifications.
Yeah.
And then I don't have to worry about it until I get in it. And then messages are more so personal. So every now and then, like, it will do other stuff like sick days and stuff like that. They actually go to my manager. But if they came to me, it'd come through via text and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I just think it allows me to kind of keep business and personal a little bit separate.
Yeah.
I'm very conscious on what's going on in their lives personally and making sure that I'm tuning into what they need as well, like rather than just being like, you know, I'll ask them about what's going on at home and making sure if they've got an important date coming up or something like that, I'm conscious on kind of checking in and being like, how are you? And I think for me, like, those friendships are so important. And just like any relationship, you're going to have people in your business that you're not going to be best friends with. You might be close to now, but you're not going to be close to in a few years' time because your paths are different.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's still having those people that when you see them, it's still wonderful. It's still safe. It's still, you know, and it's how much you make an effort for them as well. Like, because there'll be some people that you were like, we'll never not be friends. And other people that are like, I love to watch your journey, but we're not going to be besties.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, you can think about that with past employees.
Yeah.
I've got past employees that I don't really ever see. And then I've got past employees that I see all the time.
Yeah.
You know, like you said, like Erin, like G,
Yeah.
like her, you know, we make conscious efforts to catch up and be in each other's lives. And again, in every capacity. Like, so, you know, G and I will be like walking and I'll be like, all right, what's going on with the business? How can I help? Like, because I was her boss and her mentor for many years. Again, I just want that support for her as well. So I think it's really important, to understand that not all friendships are going to be, even if they're in your world now, work relationships.
Yes.
They're not always going to be like your best friends moving down the track. Yeah, I think for me, I just make sure that I love them on a personal level as well as on a professional level.
Yeah.
And I know how to switch off and be Samara. I'm not their boss outside of work.
Yeah.
If it's in work, yes, I'm their boss and I will lead them as their boss. When it's outside of work, it's not. So only a couple of weeks ago, Mick and Kiki were both here with their kids. And that's not boss Samara ever. That's just Samara. Like, they don't feel like I'm their boss. I don't feel like I'm their boss. Work doesn't get spoken about. And it's just us. Like, we're just us as people. So they feel safe enough to be themselves with me.
Yeah.
And I feel safe enough for them to be my friends at that point as well. But I'm just I also don't cross a line. Like, I would never talk about with them other staff members that weren't here.
Yes.
You know, in a way that was like, oh, this person was a dick. I would never do that. So it keeps everything feeling I think the most important thing is, how safe are you to your friends?
Yeah.
If you want ultimate safety in your friendships, bottom dollar, you want safety. How safe are you being?
Yeah.
So if you're like, I want friends like Samara's talking about that just feel really safe and wonderful and rich, it's like, okay, but if you're leaving that friend and she's being a dick and then you're bitching about her, how safe are you being to them?
Yeah, okay.
You have to give safety to receive safety. Like, you have to be watching what your words are. You have to show, like, if you're like, that friend never shows up for me, okay, well then just keep showing up, and then if you don't get it in return, then move away. But I think as I've said in the past, if you want to be her, if you want her as your, like, you think about who your ultimate friend is for you. Like, if you sit and thought about it, like, who is my ultimate friend? What do they do? How do they show up for me? How are they in my life? What's our conversations? All of those things for you, because deep relationships may not be your thing. But if you think about what that person needs to do and how it needs to be brought into your life, and you think, I need someone that does this, are you being that friend to other people?
Are you being what that person would expect
Yes.
in a friend?
Are you being your
Yeah.
ultimate friend? Are you the ultimate friend? Because for me, I know I'm a good friend.
Yeah.
And sometimes we slip. It's like in any relationship.
That's
Sometimes I
normal.
slip in friendship. I slip in relationships. I slip in motherhood. But for me, I'm like, if you want that friendship, how do you show up to that friendship?
Yeah.
And that's something that I'm quite conscious of making sure that I'm being a good friend on the other side. And that's, you know, messages and all of the things, making time for those people that make time for you. And yeah, I think it's just that conscious thought of how can I be a better friend to get a better friend.
Yeah.
It's not what someone else can give you. It's what you can give other people.
That's what I was going to say, shall we close with like something that prompts people? But that I think that's a really good prompt for people to think about. It's like, okay, if I want the ultimate, you know, if friendship is what I seek, what is the ultimate friend for me?
Yeah.
What does that person look like?
Yeah.
And then how do I
also,
start?
how do I be the ultimate friend myself?
Yeah, exactly.
How do I put out, as you said, how do I put out to the world what I want back in return?
Yeah.
And some people won't give it back to you in return. They're not meant to be your perfect friend.
Yeah.
So just keep.
And that's
like,
okay.
That's okay.
Yeah.
And also, I think the other thing is if I have triggers in friendship, why? Like if I've got some deep-seated shit, then why? And work on your own shit in order for you to allow yourself to be a better friend. I have done so much spiritual work on friendships and relationships.
Yeah.
That the reason why I'm at where I'm at is because of that. That I think it's really important for you. Like I was bullied. I worked through it. And I think it's really important.
That showed up quite often. Like there was, and it was finally that, that's what it is, you know?
Yep. So it still comes up.
Yeah.
I've still got something I'm working on at the moment when it comes to that. And so it's never going to stop unless I'm like, why is that person triggering me right now?
Yeah.
And that's what I had to do with what I'm working through at the moment. I'm like, why am I getting triggered by that? And then I realized, oh my God, it's because of this. And I got to do the work on it, bust it and move on.
Yeah.
So I can be a better friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it. Let's all be better friends, guys.
Let's all be better friends. Right now, text all your best friends. Tell them you love them.
Tell them that you love them.
And you're proud of them.
And I'm sorry I got so comfortable on the couch today that I may or may not have slipped in and out of the frame.
There's a good
But
chance
that's okay.
that this is muffled because I was holding onto the actual microphone and Richard's going to be mad.
It's all good. It's just real.
All right. We love you guys. Thank you for joining us. We need to go do school pickup.
We got to do school pickup. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Goodbye.
I'm ready, Jen.
I'm ready for my close-up. Ready? 2, 1. I can't clap because I've got too many things going on.
Okay.
here.
Shay, this is a clap.
Clap. Welcome back to the Inner Sanctum. Hi, Sam.
Hey, dude.
Ozday is showing the love to Salon Rising listeners with some incredible offers. Head to ozday.com/salonrising and find out how Kevin Murphy and Ozday can help your business rise.